Hi guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today, wherever they are. So today, we have got a TikTok mums behaving badly. I've got a whole playlist dedicated to this. Just a little disclaimer, are these mums behaving badly? That's kind of up to your interpretation. I am a mother and a lot of TikTok mum content comes across my feed. So I decided to compile all the different things that I see on that side of TikTok. And today we have number one, we have a mum whose roommate quite literally called the cops on them because she was having a shower at 5:30 in the morning before work.
Well, then, two people that don't get along, that are living with each other, you guys start to go at each other's throats, and then eventually somebody starts putting
I don't bother her though. I have another mum who some drama to do with homeschooling. She has peed off a load of people. Her son wants to go to school and she is pretty defiant in the fact that he shouldn't be going to school, he should be homeschooled. She then sets up this whole entire day which is meant to replicate school, and it basically just completely traumatizes him.
If you could change one thing about today, what would it be? Hey, if you could change one thing about how today went, what would it be?
We also have another person who we're going to start off with, where this is just short and sweet. This woman who decided to take her really small baby to the gym, actually took them on the gym floor, and she was told by the gym people that she could not do that. Everyone say hello to Gabrielle up here. So she posts a lot of different things, authentic beauty content for brands and techniques, blah, blah, blah. But she has just recently had a baby. She is a first-time mum, I believe. And she did a video saying, can other mums relate? So I was curious.
So I'm outside of Planet Fitness right now. Yeah. And I just got done with my workout there. I just switched my membership to here. And I'm just pretty upset right now. I just got told that I can't bring my baby back with me to work out at the gym. After everyone in the gym congratulated me so many times on how great it was that I was there with my baby. I'm a new mom. How society doesn't do shit for mothers, dude. Everywhere inside that gym, it's you belong here. You're included. This is the gym for everyone. Blah, blah, blah. I get told I can't bring my baby that's asleep in a car seat. I can understand by the free weights, but come on.
Now, I don't feel like I need to tell you guys this, but that's a little bit dangerous. As someone who used to work in the fitness industry, that is a little bit dangerous. Obviously, yes, wouldn't it be nice if we could all do that and there would be no chances of having heavy dumbbells dropped on you? Yeah, of course, we would all like to live in that world, but sadly, we do not. Things that I have seen, I'm telling you right now, accidents happen, that there's rules put in place. There was one thing, as she said in particular, about, why is society so against helping mums or whatnot? This is a safety issue. Say it with me. This is a safety issue. I don't think society is, trying to get at her so she can't bring her child to the gym. I don't think it's to do with that. Also, a lot of gyms have creches, but a lot of gyms don't take babies that are really little. Or you can work out from home. You can get some equipment. There are tons of really good at-home workouts you can do. Or if you're feeling a little bit spendy, you can always find a PT that will actually come out and do a one-to-one session with you, and they'll bring some stuff. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but they can set you things to do so that you can do those things the rest of the week and you can meet up once a week. I don't know. I'm just flocking some ideas. Also, there's that whole entire thing that you shouldn't really leave babies in car seats that are not stationed in cars because of the way that babies sit. The comments. I want to be on your side, really I do, but this is a huge liability for them if they don't have a designated childcare centre. Gabrielle says, I get the liability part, dude, but I feel like there's a way that could let parents bring their child. Sorry, excuse my coffee-stained mug. There is a way you can do baby and mum classes where in some cases you're wearing the baby and you have to do stuff. There are methods around this, all right, but I just don't think babies on a gym floor is necessarily the vibe that we should be going down. She said, Mum of one here, and while I respect your setup, not everyone's routine or priorities are the same. My partner and I work out together. That's always been part of our day, and we make it work safely. Until you had a baby and you can't do that in a gym, do it at home. Planet Fitness staff literally saw me with my baby the day I signed up and said I was inspiring and to keep doing what I'm doing. Sorry, hate to keep on pausing. But because you were signing up, they didn't literally think that you would take the baby with you. A month later, they suddenly changed their stance. So which is it? They didn't change their stance. Let's be honest, my baby isn't crawling around the gym floor. She's safe, secure, supervised, and nowhere near anyone's equipment. Planet Fitness is massive. No one has ever been near us. It's important to me that my daughter sees her mum taking care of herself. Not everything has to be done in shifts separately or hidden away just because we have kids. That might work for you, but don't mistake your way for the way. Okay, I hate to say this, Gabrielle, but this is some entitlement that is going on here. No, you need to adhere to their policies. Yes, continue doing your workout and showing your baby, even though by the sounds of it they're a baby, that you're taking care of yourself. You can do that at home. Just invest in some equipment. I find really good at-home workouts. That's all I'm trying to say. I do not think she's going to watch this video, but you can. This next one's absolutely bonkers. So this lady appeared on my FYP saying, your POV, your roommate calls the cops on you for taking a shower at 5:45 in the morning. And yeah, it was a policeman that had turned up because her roommate had called the cops on her.
And one step to the next step, and then, you know.
Yeah, but like,
unfortunately, I see this a lot.
I'm just in the bathroom taking a shower, getting ready for work, and she calls the police because I'm in the bathroom.
I get it. I know. I get it. Like, you see where it could be an issue where it can escalate. You know what I mean? Like,
well, then,
two people that don't get along, that are living with each other, you know, you guys start to go at each other's throats, and then eventually somebody starts putting
I don't bother her though. She's not threatening me.
So, I mean, this is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not trying to be rude. She's going to the bathroom. Okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Right, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, this is kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I told you before.
Now, in that clip, you can kind of hear that he's trying to de-escalate the situation, basically saying, you know, it's not good if you have two people and they do not vibe very well together, you know, stuff like this happens. Basically insinuating, like, girl, get out of there. And Brianna, who is the mum that was filming, she made a TikTok, a follow-up onto what the deal is with this roommate. And newsflash, this roommate essentially believes that like demons are around her and that she actually sages her house numerous times a week. She gives this great big backstory, and I'm going to give you the cliff notes to it. But her and her daughter, and then you then have the roommate, and then the roommate's other, I think the roommate has like 1 or 2 kids. They moved in together the beginning of May, and at first they were friendly. It was absolutely fine. And then Brianna started noticing that the roommate would start to get controlling about what Brianna was spending on her own kid, or just in general, was always wanting to know where she was being, it was giving bad vibes.
And she just started like making comments about every little thing. Like, it would be like, if she saw me doing my makeup, getting ready to go out or whatever, it would be, oh, I could never wear that much makeup, or whatever I'm wearing, oh, I could never wear that out. Or if I'm doing my hair, I could never take that much time on my hair. You know, stuff like that. But like, I ignored it because it was little. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. And the one day I was like, oh, I'm like finally losing weight because I've been trying to lose weight for years. And I was like, oh, I finally lost like 10 pounds. And she was like, oh, you still have that stomach though. Like, okay. But one day, because my daughter at school, she moved up to the 3-year-old class because she was doing so well, and she's only 2. She was doing so well in the 2-year-old class that she moved up to the 3-year-old class. And, you know, I was proud of her for that because she's so smart, doing well in school. So I took her to Target to pick out a toy, and she picked out nothing big, just Thomas the Tank train set. And when we got home, my roommate is like as I was setting up her train set, she was like, why are you buying your daughter toys? And I was like, because I'm proud of her for moving up to the 3-year-old class, doing so good in school. So I wanted to reward her. And she was like, well, she is almost 3. And I'm like, okay, but she's not. So, you know, I'm still proud of her. And she was like, well, in this house, we only buy toys for Christmas and birthdays. We don't need to be doing all that extra. This was like a reoccurring thing where she was like worried about what I spend my money on, but my bills are paid. So Mind your business. So then the next day, she didn't know I was at home, and I hear her talking on the phone, and she's like talking about, oh, she bought her daughter another toy. I don't know why. Like, it's ridiculous. She's always buying her daughter stuff. And the thing was in mine and my daughter's room, so it wasn't even like it was in her way or anything. And I don't know, it's just, I don't know why it's such a big deal that you need to be talking on the phone about what I spend my money on for my daughter. We went to the pool the one day, and her friend from church wanted to take her to the 4 feet so like she could kick her legs and stuff because my daughter asked to. I can't stand cold water, so if the cold water touches my stomach, like I just can't do it. So I let her take her, and my daughter started crying for me. I stayed at the shallow one with my roommate, and my daughter started crying for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get her. Can you take your phone? Because I was holding my roommate's phone, and she goes, relax, just breathe. She's fine without you. Like, take the phone before I throw it in the water so I could go get my daughter. Like, I didn't say that. All I said was, just take your phone so I could go get her. And she kept saying, relax, just breathe. Your daughter needs to get used to being without you. Like, what the hell do you mean my daughter needs to get used to being without me? Like, are you planning on getting rid of me? Like, what kind of comment is that to say? I was ready to throw her phone in the water. She started talking about how there's demons after her. The demons visit her every night. The devil's trying to get her.
Yeah, so her believing that there are like demons around the house should kind of indicate to you that this roommate, you don't need to be living with her. But unfortunately, Brianna had, you know, kind of signed the lease and is now stuck there with her. Bear this in mind, this is still ongoing. Other thing that the roommate started to do was just invade Brianna's personal space and her daughter's. She would barge into the room, and it got to a point where Brianna turned around and just said, stop. And the roommate turned around and said, well, you know, if you're going to be like that, then you can't use the stuff that's in the apartment, even though Brianna had paid for half of that stuff. So then Brianna then took it upon herself to basically collect up all of the stuff that she had paid for, which was essentially most of it.
And she just walked up in my room, like, out of the blue. And I guess she was on, like, FaceTime with her cousin or whatever. And I was like, can you not go in my room? Like, there's no reason for you to be in here. And her cousin on the phone was like, if you don't like it, move out. Like, excuse me, my name is on the lease. I pay half my rent, and my bills are paid. All day they're sitting there on the phone talking badly about me and my daughter, who is two 40-something-year-old women, or pushing 40, about to be 40. I'll say what I said. Like, I have nothing to hide. Um, so I was like, before you say anything about me or my daughter, like, you need to look at yourself. Like, you're a failure as a mother. Your kid is 10, got caught getting high in the school bathroom. So, you know, before she, like, says anything about me, she needs to take a look at herself. But she beats her kids with shoes, like, leaving marks on them. At least the little one, at least the 2-year-old. Her daughter started doing that to my daughter, so I said, like, they can't play together anymore. She started hitting my daughter. So I was like, okay, they can't play together anymore, because she started, like, leaving marks on her. So tell me if this isn't reactive abuse. So when she was talking badly about me and my daughter, saying nasty stuff about my 2-year-old, um, she waited until I came out and said something to her. This is when I, like, was yelling at her about how she's a failure as a mother, to keep my daughter's name out of her mouth, whatever. And she started recording me, but she stayed silent the whole time then, to make it look like, you know, I'm just yelling at her for no reason. But no, she knew I was gonna come out and, like, start yelling at her and saying something. She took all my devices off the Wi-Fi that I paid her half for, and, like, I paid her my half of the Wi-Fi. And I was like, okay, since you're not letting me use what I paid half for, then you can't use any of my stuff. 'Cause, mind you, I bought everything for the apartment. And so I was like, okay, if I can't use what I paid half for, you can't use any of my stuff. And then she was like, oh, can we talk about it woman to woman? No, you already said what you said. You said I can't use what I paid half for, so I'm not letting you use what I paid full for. But as soon as I said she can't use my stuff, then, that she didn't even help pay for, then, you know, it was a problem. I came home from work, I put everything in my closet, and oh, she was mad. From that point, that's when she started getting, like, worse.
And to no one's surprise, TikTok was finding this whole situation extremely strange and unsettling, because obviously it was happening around a child. Why and how did you allow this person to live with you? It's kind of hard to feel bad for you when you talk about knowing she was crazy obsessed with her last roommate and you decide, yeah, it's a good idea for this person to move in with me and my child. Someone else said, CPS needs to be involved, hon. You were giving an out by the cop and you're not seeing it. CPS will help that woman. Get out of that house, take your child and get out. Doesn't matter if you lose your deposit, go somewhere better for the safety of your daughter and you. I'd quite like to know if they were friends before they decided to be roommates, like how long did they know each other? We don't know her backstory, so it's kind of hard to judge in that way without knowing the backstory of how Brianna got there and how her and her child lived with them. Without knowing that backstory, getting out of that situation should obviously be first and foremost what you should be doing, because in the second video that she shares the fact that her roommate, she has 2 doors, one of which doesn't really lock very well and you can just unlock it with your nail, and the other one connects to the roommate, and the roommate would just open and shut that door all the time. So Brianna had to move the bed to actually block that door so the roommate wouldn't be able to get in.
The one night, like, I laid down to start going to sleep, and all of a sudden, like, I hear my books fall. I had my books on the nightstand, and I look over, none of them fell, and all of a sudden I saw, like, the lock turn, and she opened it and was like banging it against the nightstand. So understandably I put my bed in front of it because that's a lot harder to move than like a nightstand. So yeah. And then like when we first got the apartment, like the first like month and a half or so before I started distancing myself, like she constantly wanted to hang out like 24/7, like, and always be together. And if I was at work, she would be texting me all day while I'm at work. And mind you, I can't even text at work because I drive the forklift, so it's kind of hard to like, you know, be driving the forklift and texting. And she would still like back-to-back text. She was trying so hard to convince me to quit my job that has the same hours every week. My schedule never changes. So my job has like a ton of benefits and they pay really well. I'm not leaving there like anytime soon. But anyway, she would try to get me to quit my job to go to her job that's cleaning houses, not stable hours, pays like $12 an hour. She wanted me to work with her so bad. Every day she would try to convince me, quit your job, please leave your job, come work with me. Like, no, I don't want to work with you. And anytime I would have plans with a friend, she would like get mad about it and be really weird, and like she would try to invite herself, and like I don't know, it was just really weird. And then so I think the same thing happened with her old roommate that she's doing with me, because I never met her old roommate, but my roommate broke her lease with her old roommate because she was mad that her roommate was never home and always at her boyfriend's house. And I was like, okay, well, did she pay the rent? Did she pay her bills? Well, yeah, okay, so like what's the problem? Like, that's a good thing for all your bills to be paid and still have the house to yourself all the time, so why is that a problem? So I'm thinking she was obsessed with her too and like getting jealous.
And another crazy part of this whole entire story, which makes me want to shake her and go scream, run in the other direction, was the fact that her roommate had basically threatened her and said that she's going to be doing something to her in her sleep. Like, it escalated beyond just anything. And you can see in this text message of Brianna sending a text message to her roommate saying, just basically venting, going after her. And her roommate sends just like 3 knives, a load of sleeps, and then it says don't forget at the bottom.
And then a few days before she called the police last time, me and my daughter were in the bathroom getting ready. I was getting ready for work. She was going to the bathroom. I was in the middle of getting dressed. I was getting ready to take her to school. My roommate, barged in the bathroom, holding the phone up with the camera in our faces, recording us. So I was like, get the fuck out of the bathroom. Stop recording us. I am going to call the police and press charges. And she said if I call the police that she is going to do something to me in my sleep. This was just what I talked about in the other video about how I called her a failure as a mother because she couldn't keep my daughter's name out of her mouth. Anyway, she texted me these 3 emojis right here. I don't know if you can see right here. And then these sleeping emojis. And don't forget. And she's constantly complaining about what I buy for my daughter, that I don't buy her used clothes. Not that everything's wrong with used, but like, I don't know. I just choose to buy her new clothes. The one day, like, I got matching shoes for me and my daughter. I came home, we were like wearing them. She yelled at me for it, talking about my daughter's so spoiled, she's gonna be disrespectful, all this stuff, because I bought her a pair of shoes and it's ridiculous to spend that on a child, but it really weren't that much, so I don't even know why it's anyone's business. One day my daughter came home from my mom's because my mom picks her up from daycare because I work. So she picks her up and then I get her right after work. But my daughter came home with a ring that my mom had given her. It was like a Sonic ring. And my daughter was playing with it like in the living room. My roommate snatched it out of her hand and was like, "This is for my kid." And I was like, no. Well, I'm giving it to my kid. And then just puts it in her bra. And at that point, like, I don't even want it back because she's fucking dirty, always sweating and greasy and just overall disgusting. So I was like, whatever, take it. I just went on Amazon and ordered my daughter an entire pack from Amazon. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen like in the next few days, but we'll see. Hopefully she leaves me alone. Hopefully she moves out soon. But I will keep you guys updated.
Basically, her roommate is a psycho, and her roommate, they just, like, please, like, for the love of God, I worry. It has gone on, and she has said that they are dealing with things behind the scenes legally, and that once things are done and dusted, she's going to come back on and explain, but she can't say too much because she doesn't want her roommate to know what's going to be happening next. Either way, that's unbelievably sketchy. I would have been up and out of there at the very beginning. Like, if someone tries to dictate what you can't spend on your own child, or just in general. Okay, so this one is a bit more lighthearted, right? Because this woman was just hell-bent on trying to wind people up, right? She comes on and she is all about homeschooling. I got nothing against homeschooled. It's actually the one form of education that I have never been. I've never been homeschooled, but I have gone to a plethora of other different types of schools, including boarding school. Yeah, I feel like that's like the upper extreme of just how much time you can actually spend at school. And then I've been to state schools and democratic schools and alternative schools. I've been to different types of schools, all right? I'm not against homeschooling. But the way in which this all rolled around did make me chuckle. Right? She previously worked as a teaching assistant, I believe, and she has done her fair stints just working alongside teachers, has a kid, and her kid is homeschooled, and she believes that that is the way. But her kid came to her after spending some time with their cousins, and he was really amped up and excited about, after hearing about what their cousins get up to at school, they were excited about, maybe I could go to school. Was just getting really into it. So decided to go to Leah, his mum, and said, "Hey mum, yeah, I want to go to school." And Leah turned around and she said, "Okay, well, we're going to do a trial day." What is a trial day? Well, I'm just going to let her explain the full of it.
My homeschool kid begged to try public school. So I made him live the full 8-hour day. No screens, 6 a.m. wake up, bus route, the whole 9 yards. Homeschooling for 4 years. 2 of those years are for him. Learn what you want, when you want, and barefoot if you feel like it. He was over with his cousins who go to public school. Now suddenly he's all about that bell schedule. Now I ain't the type to just go sign him up for public school because he got all hyped up. So we agreed to do a test day. He was up at 6 a.m., had breakfast. Then we took a van ride, just like the bus route. He started school at 8. Honestly, I thought he was going to crack by lunchtime. But so far, his biggest complaints are having to keep his shoes on all day. Yes, I did make him walk back home from the bus stop. He has to try public school, so Mama gave him the real deal.
Yeah, so basically they got up early in the morning. They mimicked getting on a bus. They then had a full day of different types of lessons. And so on and so forth. And people were pointing out that that's not quite mimicking a school day. That's like taking all the crappy parts of school and doing them at home, but then making you leave the house for no apparent reason to go on a bus and then come back. That's basically taking all the crappy elements of school and putting them on a silver platter and serving it. And when people said, "My child is begging for structure and socialization, so I'm going to make him have an awful day because I need him home with me," it's okay. Media literacy isn't everyone's strong suit. What was the result of that? So she essentially says that her kid has never been as burnt out. What'd she say? One day of school gave him empathy and complete nervous system burnout.
What did you like about mock public school? Nothing. Was there anything fun or exciting? Nothing. Did you like doing different subjects?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, like the different subjects. How did you feel about having a schedule? No. Did you feel like anything was easier than homeschooling? No. All right, what'd you not like about it? The walk, everything and the walk. Oh yeah, all the dogs in the neighborhood. All right, was anything boring? What? Everything? Jeez.
I even had to take a nap. That's how bored I was.
That was on the ride home, though. How'd you feel waking up early?
Literally me waking up, I was like, and I was like, and I said, I don't want to get up. It's like, it's time for your first day at school. And I'm like, what?
If you could change one thing about today, what would it be?
At this point.
Hey, if you could change one thing about how today went, what would it be?
The whole day.
You'd change the whole day? If every school day felt like today, what would a whole week feel like? Terrible. Do you still feel curious about public school? Or does homeschooling feel better? Okay.
She can't quite understand why people keep on going on about socialization, and effectively calls us ants, because, you know, we don't know any different, that kind of stuff.
I keep seeing so many comments defending public school like it's some kind of sacred institution. Y'all are like, they need socialization. Kids learn so much structure. Like those are bulletproof points. When most kids get in trouble for trying to socialize at school, unless it's approved by the authority figure, which that's not socialization, that's obedience training. It reminds me of ants in a glass ant farm. They work in it, they build it up, it is their world. But as soon as someone comes along and shakes it, even if it's not to hurt them, even if it's to break the glass and set them free, they panic. They will protect that ant farm like their life depends on it. Even if what's on the other side is freedom, literal miles, every direction, underground, they can build anthills. But they can't see that because the only thing they've ever known is that glass box. They think you're trying to attack their system, but all you're doing is trying to show them that there's so much more out there. Maybe you're not defending something good. Maybe you're just defending the only cage that you learned how to decorate.
She also says to people saying, like, you know, if the kid wants to do it, why don't you trial it out? She said, letting small children make legally binding decisions is not parenting, that's neglect.
Said he wants to do something, just let him do it. Letting small children make legally binding decisions is not parenting. Okay? That's neglect.
So, I've got many thoughts about this. What I will say straight off the bat, why can't you just like ring up a school and go, hey, can we have like an introductory day? Because wouldn't that be more like, do you guys do that in the States? Because over here you can ring up a school, and if they're accepting more people, they'll do an introductory day so that, you know, they have a day where they're just going through it, but there's no obligation for that child to continue going. It's just a trial. Wouldn't that be a better alternative than basically taking all of the fun parts of school, stripping it away, and then just making them sit at home and do it with their mum as the teacher? That's another thing as well. It's not like they've got another person coming in to teach them. It's their mum, of course. Like, it's gonna be, I would find that impossible. I'd never agree to be doing that. In my humble opinion, right, I'm a nobody, I know nothing, but in my own opinion, after observing what she's saying, I kind of think that she has a negative perception of school and the way that, you know, everyone is ants and they don't know any different and they're trying to protect the hive until they get let out and yada yada. The little analogy that she did, that after her being in school, she obviously had a tough time maybe teaching, maybe whatever. She didn't like it. So she set it off in her mind that her kid is going to be homeschooled and that is going to be the way. And she's got a bias towards that. So she obviously to a certain degree is going to be projecting that bias onto her child, whether or not she knows it or not. I don't even think she's completely aware that she's done it, but if she wanted to do it right, surely going for a trial day or a trial morning or something would be a better alternative, or just having a little walk around a school. That would be setting them up to get a better look into how it actually is, because by the sounds of it, they went to go see their cousins, came back ultra excited, and then their mum basically gave them a day from hell. I would find that hellish if I had to sit there and do like 8 subjects with my mum. Oh my gosh, no. I switched schools quite a lot because I just couldn't find the right one that I got along with. And to be honest, I didn't like school until basically I got to college and I got to decide what I wanted to do. Some people just don't vibe with schools, and that's perfectly fine. But homeschooling would not have been better for me because I just wouldn't have done it. Plain and simply. So yeah, what do you guys think about all the people that we've just covered today? I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and feelings. Let me know down in the comment section. I hope you guys are having a fantastic summer holidays wherever you are. All of those who are still working and are still getting out there, doing their thing, and also having to look after their kids as well. Highest salute to you. You guys are rock stars. I hope you guys have a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.